Hello and welcome to part 9 of the build diary. He's indoors, you may be saying to yourselves. Why is he indoors? Several reasons. 1. It's February. 2. It's cold outside. 3. It's wet outside. None of this adds up to working with wood. We don't all have large workshops or anything to deal with. I have this. It's the garden office, known by myself as the hut, and as you can see behind me, home to a lot of lovely Doctor Who stuff, and well, essentially my inspiration, I think, to get along with, if we can get the wood into the, get along with this. So what will be going on in part 9? These will be employed, because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 troublesome screws, and I don't actually want to entirely remove the second floorboard where most of them are, so the idea is to put these newly bought clamps into place, and we'll hold it. We'll probably stick one up there. Oh God, should put it where where you can actually sit here, but yeah, we'll put one on this edge and another down there, and that will hold this board down and in position, because we've already gone through with these screws and they have made holes in this other piece of wood, so it's a shame to actually lose position and start all over. So what I'm going to have to do is remove these ones that are absolutely refusing to go in, and so what I'm going to do is drill bigger guide holes for them, and hopefully that will do the trick. And well, yes, picking up tips on this project as I go along. Yesterday I was at the Science of the Time Lords event in Leicester in the UK at the wonderful National Space Centre, and there I met a very nice man who had built a William Hartnell box, and because I was just about to start on this again, thoughts obsess you about it at work, and so I was going, yeah, like, I know the next thing I have to do is the corner posts. How do my mind's been going, how do I fix them to this? And so I just asked the guy, look, how do you fix your corner posts to your thing? And he clearly has more DIY resources to hand than I do, because he said he'd just stuck, in his words, a bolt. I don't have a drill big enough to drill a hole for a bolt, but given the size of the corner posts, I could probably do it with sort of 2 bolts, one at either side of that corner. But we shall cross that bridge when we come to it. While I'm in the garden office, I thought I'd share this with you. No, it's not full-sized, much as it may look amazing when you come in this close on it. This is one of my main inspirations. It is made by a professional model making company called Cod Steaks, who I think have crafted the thing out of a rather solid resin of some kind, or fiberglass. It has all of the sort of lovely wear that affords home inside, of course, to my Doctor Who DVDs, but it's so wonderfully accurate that this is just essentially the model to which I'm working towards in like every single detail. I mean, I don't know, these Fresnel lenses, for example, on the light are quite, I don't know if you can even see it at this angle. If I lift the tripod up you will be able to, but those, quite hard to obtain. that particular piece of glass, and I think even on this they've had to sort of cheat and do it with plastic, but this is perfect. This is essentially what I'm trying to build, much bigger, because it has everything that a TARDIS prop should have. Everything is, it has everything that's right about it and nothing that is wrong about it, and none of the new series TARDIS props have got the charm of this one in my book. Rant over, let's get on with some building. Well, so what I've done is I've removed the first of the troublesome screws, so I don't actually have to employ the clamp just yet. And what I'm going to do is I have just a 5mm drill, and what we're going to do is make the hole bigger, because I've noticed, looking at the wood, that the reason that particular screw may not have been going in properly is there is a knot in the wood just there. And so we'll see if we make the guide hole for the screw bigger, whether that will in fact solve the problem with the knot. I think you could actually hear there the moment that the drill hit the knot, but we're going to try and put the screw back in and see if it's a little bit more cooperative. Whoa, that is one hot screw, and that is one hot drill bit, and does not actually want to go in any further, and it's just ripping the poor screw head to pieces, even getting it that far. Not quite sure how we're going to solve that problem, but I'm not sure why the other screws aren't going in, because there is no knot in the way of that one, at least not that I can see from this side. There's only part of a knot in the way of that one. There's no visible knot in the way of that one. That one has hit a knot. This one equally doesn't seem to have hit a knot, but it does maybe possibly have an issue with the edge of the well, that went in. Went in at entirely the wrong angle. It's just come out. That was a great moment of joy and because that screw went in and then went so not quite sure how to fix it down in that corner. Well, I return to you with good news and bad news. The bad news is the only way that corner screw will go in is at that weird rising up angle, and I think it's because there are two screws in here to hold this part of the frame together, because the actual wood itself is weakened, and so it won't actually go any better. So I think that's going to be about as best as that corner is going to have to be for now. That's the sort of bad news. The good news I had another go at the troublesome screws. This one and this one both managed to go in. This one don't matter what you do with it, won't go in. So now we're filming again. I will see if this one goes in. Yep. Yay! This one looks slightly wonky, but we'll push at it and... See, that is another one that is clearly hitting a knot in the wood, where the wood is very solid and doesn't want to play ball. So I think I will have another go at drilling a hole for that one to go through. So yeah, let's do that. Well, I've had another go with the drill and I've managed to get a bit further in and hopefully solve the problem with the knot, or at very least the drill seemed to go a bit further into the knot on that particular try. So there is our troublesome screw. We are going to zoom in a tad so you can see it more clearly. And let's see if we can get the screw to go in there. No, I think that's exactly what's happening. It's hitting that knot. And I'm not remotely sure how I'm going to solve that. But it is, if I gave up on that particular screw and took it out, it is now reasonably well held down all the way from there to there. Yeah, the screw issue will be more of an issue, I think, when we get to this side here, because that's where the wood, in all its wisdom, like wood does, is bowing and bulging, even though the wood is stored in here, which I would not call a damp environment, for this room is heated every week of the year to maintain a temperature of around 68 degrees. So I think we're going to move on to, I want to fiddle with the tripod to even get a shot of this. So yes, progress. We're down to just 2 troublesome screws, and then we'll be putting some fresh screws into a couple of holes that I drilled last time. So let's see if we can get these previously troublesome ones in. Down and 1 to go. So just this so you can see. Now this one is a bit wonky. I may take it out first and see if we can get it in straighter. Very strange bulge thing going on with not just this piece of wood, but this piece of wood as well, and it might be necessary to add another screw, but we shall see how we go. It's up here, it's flat, 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 bulge, 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 flat. Onwards! Ooh, an exciting change of camera angle to give you an update. So for the past few minutes I have drilled more holes down this side, and we're going to work our way down, 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 down to there, and I've already marked it out, so I'll be drilling holes across, if we can get the camera in the right position, right across there. And so then I will do in one batch, as I seem to be having reasonable success with screws this afternoon, a whole batch of screws, and that may complete work on the beginnings of the base. I say the beginnings of the base because I have still yet to tackle the slightly tricky thing of trying to find something to point it out. Yes. So yes, here we are. We are working on this bit. My next slightly tricky problem is to create that lip, which is on some models of the TARDIS and not on others. It all depends on how much effort people have gone into making them screen accurate. Someone's bothered to put that lip on, you know, they've paid attention to what the actual prop looks like. But as soon as you've got that lovely lip thing, sort of step going all round, it does actually start to look like a TARDIS base, and not what it looks like at the moment, which is just a sort of box, a hollow box to be precise, because nobody ever said I should put another piece of wood on the other side. And given that the idea currently is for this to sit on concrete slabs down the garden, presumably the sheer weight of it on the concrete slabs will seal it reasonably well against, I think the best way of putting it is insect invaders. So yeah, I'll film again shortly when we get on with these screws. Well, for the past few minutes I've been putting screws in the hole of this side. As I work my way down with the camera, you can see them all in there. I'm now going to drill a couple of holes here and here, and that will finish fixing this piece of wood on three sides. I've already put some holes down there, and hopefully we'll be able to finish off this episode of the build diary with getting this second floorboard fully held down. And of course there's always one tricky one, isn't there? Tricky no more. So, all done. I still have a slight issue with the centre of the base where I got a bowing problem with one of these bits of wood, and I'm not sure whether it's the piece of wood itself that's got damp and is having problems there, or whether it's got something to do with the underside where all this is being strengthened. So, any ideas as to what may be causing that bowing and how the problem, I'll get the camera at an angle so it can be seen, how the problem can be solved, please post them in the comments. And we still have one troublesome screw, so the theme of today has been troublesome screws. We will give it another go. Nope. Don't want to go to that one. So will I literally have to hammer that one into place as if it's a nail? I don't know. But it's time for a wide angle, methinks. So there you have it. An almost completed base. And considering I've been working on this project on an on and off basis, I'm actually quite proud of the fact that that has taken me less than a year. Bear in mind I'm an absolute novice at DIY, at making things out of wood, and effectively learning this as I go along. But no, there you go. Apart from that one troublesome screw there and this slight, and it is only slight, it's sticking up by literally a couple of millimeters, and there probably is a relatively easy solution to that. Well, apart from that, the base is almost complete, and we come to the slightly tricky issue next, that it is currently too square to look like a TARDIS base, and we'll need this 45 degrees cutting off. So again, if you know anything that can help me with cutting off the 45 degrees, where should I cut it, how much should I cut off, if you've done it manually, any tips, please post them in the comments. They will be gratefully received. But here ends this part of the build diary.